So today we're going to be talking about Canon in Australia. My name is April Barthold.
I'm Julia Denigan.
I'm Megan Coy.
I'm Rachel Scott.
And I'm Gabby Yu. So first we're going to talk about the environment. And Australia's population is currently around 23.9 million people with an annual growth rate of 1.6%. And 58% of that growth is due to overseas migrations, whereas the rest is more from a natural increase. And the median age is around 37.3, indicating that the population is aging. And a relatively small household size of 2.6 people is reflective of the fact that Australians are waiting later to start families, which could translate into greater disposable income, which is then good for Canon since its products are on the more expensive side. Australia also has a high literacy rate, which means the use of greater ad copies such as product specifications will be better understood. And lastly, Australia is also highly urbanized. In Australia, English is the primary language, but Australian slang is often used. Australians are also known for having a strong sense of dry or sarcastic humor, and more colorful language is commonly utilized. So, for example, the word bastard is often used as a term of endearment or in jest rather than as an insult. And in terms of ethnicity, Australia is known as being a melting pot since it has such a large mix of different ethnicities. And there also is no official religion, but about 2/3 identify as Christian, which results in Australia celebrating certain pagan holidays such as Christmas. Australia also stresses gender equality and scores relatively high on indulgence on the Hofstede scale, which means they're comparatively more likely to splurge. And lastly, Australia is known for having a vibrant arts culture, which works well for Canon, as its products can create the art that Australia avidly celebrates.
For Australia's geography, it has an extremely diverse one, ranging from things like mountains to deserts to temperate forests, and is completely surrounded by water. However, the population is entirely concentrated on the southern and eastern coasts. It does have a very diverse wildlife. You hear about things like the Great Barrier Reef, different animals like the koala bear, the kangaroo, but it is home to lots and lots of natural resources, which we'll talk about later when we talk about exports, since it does use a lot of those natural resources in its exports. It is home to a lot of natural hazards as well, which could present a problem for Canon in terms of distribution throughout the country. For the economy of Australia, it has a very open market with minimal restrictions on imports and exports, similar to the United States. So this would make business, for instance, for Canon, easy and inexpensive to conduct in comparison to countries with more expensive restrictions or duties and lengthy customs. The GDP per capita of Australia is $46,600 in comparison to the United States, which is just over $53,000, and China, which is just over $6,000. Basically, all this does is it is a relative performance of countries, taking the output divided by the population. Going back to exports, the largest exports of Australia include some of its major national resources, such as iron ore, coal, and natural gas. Australia is the world's largest net exporter of coal, accounting for 29% of global coal exports. The the government that Australia conducts its business by is democracy and a constitutional monarchy with England's Queen Elizabeth II as their head of state. A couple interesting facts that I found about it were all Australian citizens over the age of 18 are required to vote in federal and local elections, but each of the 6 states have individual constitutions underneath a national one. The legal system is a common law model, which is similar to the English or the United States one, where there are statutes that are in place, but judges play a much bigger role on a case-by-case basis, relying on precedent, whereas in civil law, which is prevalent in a lot of European countries, is very complex and has written statutes to cover every situation or eventuality that could occur. So this makes the legal system a lot more easy to operate and to conduct business on for Canon.
Next, we'll talk about Canon's brand. Canon is a global company that is headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. Recently, in 2015, Canon has seen a decrease in global sales, but an increase in global profits and net income. Canon attributes this increase in profits, despite its decreased sales volume, to steady growth in sales of their higher-priced cameras and equipment. In Australia, Canon has a strong market share. In 2011, it was announced that Canon had a 17.3% volume market share and a 29% value market share. Canon Australia, referred to as Oceania in its financial statements, has reported a 21% decrease in operating profits since 2014, as well as slightly higher operating costs. While it has seen recent sales declines, Canon Australia has a strong social media presence. There are specific Canon Australia accounts on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter that announce different product updates, offer tutorials, and showcase Australia through the lens of a Canon camera. Because Australia is a country with so much wildlife and natural resources, Canon has many opportunities to highlight the quality of its cameras and devices with photos of Australian landscapes and wildlife. Canon has also been prestigiously recognized by Forbes as one of its 10 companies that are genuinely green. This recognition speaks very highly of the Canon brand and is a great form of public relations for Canon. While sales have recently been down for Canon, the brand holds a positive image and employs social media to connect with the Australian community.
Lastly, we're going to be talking about Canon's marketing communication. Canon's current advertising agency is Grey New York. The agency brought Canon's focus from products to people. Canon faces significant competition from brands such as Nikon, Sony, Konica, and others. Today, Canon must also compete with the increasing use of smartphone cameras, as many people are trading in digital cameras for the ease and convenience of having a built-in camera already on their phone. Canon's marketing strategy is capturing moments that count. Canon is reaching out to its online consumer base with an emphasis on creation. They believe the path to success is through quality, so they don't compromise any of their products. Their products include cameras, video cameras, photocopy machines, computer printers, and medical equipment. The materials used to make these products are of superior quality so that sustainability is always assured. The products are energy efficient and designed to meet all international guidelines. In regards to price, Canon follows the competitive pricing mentality, but tries to maintain a balance between the selling price and the cost price, this way to attract potential as well as their loyal shoppers. Canon has joined to form transportation partnerships so that goods are available to distributors, retailers, and consumers at the least cost and the least fuss. Their most profitable distribution has been the rise of e-commerce retailers. Canon also reinforces a beyond good enough mentality to combat the good enough mentality of the workplace. Their marketing mission is restoring the importance of quality and craft to consumer-produced images. And because of this, their marketing target has been changed from being directed at everyone having a camera to being directed at the people who genuinely care about cameras.
Canon's global marketing strategy has really evolved with the evolving technologies. In the 1990s, the focus was on the quality of the image and the usage of their top-of-the-line equipment. Canon enlisted the help of sports spokespeople like Andre Agassi to show the quality camera work for professional work, like wildlife photography and sports. When the world made the switch from film to digital, Canon switched its strategy to reaching consumers online where they work and play. Canon engaged consumers in rethinking what role photographs play in our lives. More recently, in 2010, Canon returned to the primacy of the photograph. They utilized Canon printers to create interactive galleries that create an interactive and immediate experience with the photographs. Again, Canon enlisted celebrities to showcase their photos, as well as engage with customers' experiences. In their galleries, they use sensory triggers to connect people with the pictures in the gallery. For example, the smell of suntan oil was paired with a picture hanging in their gallery to create a multi-sensory experience with that photo. Most recently, in 2014, the focus completely shifted from products to people's experiences. Canon showcased their clients' and customers' experiences on their microsite and encouraged people to see impossible. Again, Canon utilized celebrity experiences. As you can see from this evolution of strategy focus points and a shift in the unique selling propositions over the year, Canon's strategy has followed the evolution of cameras. The focus has shifted from top-of-the-line merchandise to experiences that you wish to capture on camera. Canon Australia's current strategy is a culmination of Australia's adventurous side plus engaging consumers online where they work and play and focusing on experiences, not equipment. The No One Sees It Like You campaign centers around consumer interaction on Canon Australia's YouTube channel. It encourages people to use the hashtag #WhatDoYouSee. It's important to note, as you will see in the later video, that Canon Australia's commercials do not feature any shots of equipment or specs about their products. It's all visual perspectives of the world. The Lab is a YouTube series on Canon Australia's YouTube channel that focuses on that same creativity and perspective-driven photography. Again, there are no products or advantages of their cameras. This first video is a commercial spot from Canon Australia's No One Sees It Like You campaign. It is driven by the idea that the human eye can reveal a lot of information, and everyone's perspective on the world will be different. Canon in a global market like Australia means unleashing your inner creativity with its equipment and sharing your perspectives with each other online. There are no shots of equipment or cameras anywhere in this spot. In fact, it could really be any artsy commercial until the very end when we see the Canon logo. This commercial really illustrates the emphasis on the visual perspectives and not the camera's products. Please take a moment to watch this video. The second video is one in the Canon Australia's Lab series. This highlights the perspectives that photography can unveil and is posted in Canon's Australia's YouTube channel. Please take a moment to watch this one. Finally, Canon continuously engages with customers online on their Instagram, where they encourage people to post photos of their perspectives and adventures in Australia.